Dams have always been some of the most impressive feats of engineering. These enormous structures have served a variety of great purposes, from generating electricity to supplying water to huge ecosystems and civilizations. Some are modest, simply adding a splash of color to a harsh landscape. At times these massive structures can be hundreds of feet in height and miles across. They all have one thing in common: immense strength is required to hold back billions of gallons of water. Although, when dams fail, the resulting damage can be utterly devastating, costing billions of dollars and claiming many lives. From the United States to Russia. Here are 5 examples of disastrous dam failures caught on camera. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Top 5 Everything for more. Number 5. The Dunlap Dam. Lake Dunlap Dam, located near New Braunfels, Texas, suffered a spill gate failure in 2019. This caused a massive amount of water to rush downstream, and the lake's level of water dropped by nearly 10 feet in just a few hours. When this happened, the dam was around 91 years old. At first glance, the video appears to depict a typical day at the dam. A large portion of the spill gate collapses a few seconds later, allowing the lake to drain. Because of this collapse, the lake was nearly completely drained by the end of the day. Locals were told to reduce their water usage despite the fact that the lake was not their only source of water. Aging structural steel is to blame for the incident. The Dunlap Dam, in this state of disrepair, drew attention to all the other extremely old dams in Texas. According to the American Society of Civil Engineers, 1,263 dams in the state are at high risk. There are 67 which are over 50 years old and are in the same county as Lake Dunlap. The issue isn't just that they deteriorate over time as everything else does. The issue is that safety standards were very different when these dams were built. The horrific part is that many of these dams don't have a plan in place for what to do in these situations. Number 4. RusHydro. On August 17, 2009, Russia's most massive and powerful hydropower plant experienced a catastrophic failure. We can see a lot of the disaster unfolding at the beginning of the clip thanks to state CCTV cameras. You can observe how the disaster started. Turbine 2 failed catastrophically, flooding the machinery halls in an instant. Within a short time, power went out on the main control panel, and the entire area went dark. Workers can be seen rushing out of the building, attempting to get away from the dam as water began to flood the parking lot due to a power outage. The parking lot gate would not open, so it needed to be manually elevated to allow cars to evacuate. The accident was brought on largely by excessive turbine vibrations, which caused the turbine 2 mountings to deteriorate over time. It wore them to such an extent where this major failure was possible. A later survey revealed that at the time of the accident, 6 knots were missing from the bolts that held the turbine cover in place. Following an examination of 49 recovered bolts, 41 fatigue-induced cracks were discovered. In the end, many workers were lost as a result of this tragic disaster, and 9 of the 10 turbines were heavily damaged. Number 3. Baldwin Hills Dam. On December 14, 1963, the Baldwin Hills Dam failed catastrophically, creating a significant crisis in South Los Angeles. The event was recorded on black and white video from a helicopter. While it's not as clear as videos of more recent dam failures on this list, you can definitely see the flooding. Some believe that this is the very first time in American history that such aerial coverage of a breaking news event has occurred. This is common practice in news today, however it was revolutionary at the time. Water was seen draining from pipes beneath a membrane liner by a caretaker. Following notification of the unusual occurrence to an engineer, the decision was made to begin reducing the reservoir's level of water. We must give some respect to the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, because they were able to evacuate approximately 1,600 locals downstream in a very short period of time, despite the fact that there had been no failure at this point. This decision most likely saved numerous lives. Despite many attempts to clear the emergency discharge pipes, at 3:38 p.m., a portion of the dam collapsed. The reservoir had nearly run dry an hour later. The problem started when the dam was first built. It was built directly on top of an active fault line that was a subsidiary of the nearby Newport Inglewood Fault. The underlying geologic strata were thought to be too unstable to support a reservoir, so the design relied on compacted soil lining to keep water out of the foundation. This fault line was discussed during planning, but it was ultimately decided that it was not important enough to make a change of location. In retrospect, this was a fatal flaw. The Baldwin Hills disaster has had a significant impact on civil engineering and continues to be studied today. Number 2. Shinfa Dam. Due to a prolonged period of heavy rain, a remote area of Inner Mongolia experienced one of the largest dam failures in recent years on July 18, 2021, and it received little to no attention from the media. A wave of water overtopped the Shinfa Dam, but they had no idea their problems were just getting started. The dam began to collapse a few moments later. It's shocking how little mainstream attention this received, especially given how much water was released. Over 46 million cubic meters in total. This resulted in severe flooding in the area. The dam was built to collect and store water for irrigation and flood protection. It had been repaired and reinforced only 5 years before, but it still couldn't withstand the torrential rain. The day it collapsed, the area received 9 inches of rain. The Yong'an Dam, which was further upstream, is also said to have collapsed just before this one. The failure affected 16,500 people and flooded 53,800 acres of land. Because of timely evacuations, there were no casualties. When all is said and done, it could have been much, much worse. Number 1. Oroville Dam. California is not known for its abundance of rain. Because of this, the state experiences large-scale wildfires year after year. Things changed in 2017. California was hit with torrential storms, resulting in the state's wettest winter in nearly a century. The Oroville Dam, which stands 770 feet tall, is located just north of Sacramento in the Sierra Nevada foothills. The dam is the tallest in the United States. The dam failed catastrophically in 2017, forcing the evacuation of over 180,000 people who lived downstream of the Feather River. This video may appear to be a natural waterfall, but it is actually a man-made disaster. According to the official report, the dam operators decided to use the main spillway due to the rain in the hopes of lowering lake levels. They soon noticed something strange about the flow pattern on the main spillway. As a result, the California Department of Water Resources was forced to shut it down while they figured out what to do. During this time, they discovered that the spillway's concrete structure was severely weakened. The rain just kept coming during this closure. This forced officials to choose between opening the main spillway, despite its damage, and allowing the water to rise past the emergency spillway. They reasoned that reopening the main spillway, albeit at a slower rate, would suffice. But they were mistaken. For the first time since the dam's construction, water overflowed the emergency spillway on February 11, 2017. As bad as this appears to be, it could have been much worse. The concrete weir was in danger of collapsing due to erosion. If this had occurred, a 30-foot wall of water would have been sent down the Feather River, causing the flooding to be faster and more devastating. The main spillway repairs had been completed by November 1, 2018. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to see more top 5s.